Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe if you are enjoying what you are hearing. Now, on to today's story. I've never told anyone this. Rant. Edit, duck that felt good. Thanks for all your words, everyone. It's super appreciated, and I'm so sorry some of you have had to go through a similar thing. This happened over a year ago, and I'm now with the loveliest girl I've ever met and thankful to have this witch behind me. You're all ducking great, and don't let anyone tell or make you feel otherwise. I mean, I have. But never in full. It seemed too embarrassing, too raw, made me look like too much of an idiot. I met a girl, let's call her Beth. We bonded over the mistreatment our previous love interests had given us. I'd been cheated on, she had been screwed over by guys during college, and she would constantly tell me men are trash. I reminded her I wasn't, but understood how she felt, and that I would do all I can to help her change this perception. We were great for maybe 9 months. I was very loving, her not so much, but that was okay, we still had a good balance, and one day when we were about to have sex she just freaked out. It seemed a little odd, but I understood. She just said she didn't want to be touched. We had already planned to move in together the next month, and things otherwise were generally great. I had paid for pretty much everything when moving in because she was terrible with money and had none. The security deposit, first month's rent, $500 worth of things we needed, but she needed a job in that town and we needed to live close by. She ended up hating this job and had to take a huge pay cut for another. Again I said, don't worry, your well-being is the most important, I'll cover what we need. So this girl owes me near on $2,500, we have just moved in together, and we haven't had sex for 3 months. Tensions started to rise, but I kept my mouth shut because I just wanted her to be okay. I then find texts stating she might be bisexual. It was a bit of a shock, but I said that's obviously fine, but does that have anything to do with the no sex thing? She said no, and I left it at that. Months go by and still no sex, still I'm paying for more and more, and I'm thinking nothing of it despite worrying maybe the bisexual and no sex thing is relayed. I'm shut down at any attempt to discuss it, so I leave it. For our anniversary I book a vacation to New York. The couple weeks leading up to the trip she's acting a bit weird but still says nothing, until breaking up with me out of the blue on the second night there. Bummer? We talk it out in the morning, agree it was silly and we will get back together, but she wants a week by herself to give her space. She tells me she still wants to talk, but despite knowing I'm going out of my mind ignores me at regular intervals. The Monday night not texting me to say goodnight until the morning, and basically laughs at the idea that it might be upsetting. I tell her the whole time, if you ever change your mind you need to tell me as soon as possible. By the Wednesday she's acting very positive, saying she loves me, and at last I'm feeling a bit more normal. I ask if maybe I could come back to the apartment on the Thursday night instead of Friday, and she agrees. Thursday morning she tells me she has a load of work to do and is it okay if I just come Friday? I said yes, sure, but when she finished work on Thursday she didn't text me back until 11 p.m. Sorry, I fell asleep on the couch doing work and just woke up. Not sure how I'm going to sleep now. Before going to bed 10 minutes later. I get there on Friday, with some flowers and a bottle, waiting for 8 hours for her to get home. I'm super nervous but excited. We can finally sort things out. She walks in, laughs at the flowers, she was never really a fan, but hugs and kisses me, but is clearly a little off. I realize she has changed her mind, which she has. I ask if there's anything else she has to tell me. Yup, she had invited a guy from work round on the Monday night. She then went to his, on the Thursday night. Both times having some form of sexual encounter. I hadn't slept with her for 6 months. She had lied to me all week in the worst state of my life, even after begging her to tell me if she ever changed her mind so I could begin to move on. I have never given so much of myself to someone to be given such little respect back. Especially someone who claims men are trash. I'm sorry Beth, you're trash. There's lots of bits I've missed but you get the idea. TL, Doctor, my ex-girlfriend is a nasty hypocritical little slote. Wait, you paid for almost everything, she wanted a break, and she got to stay in the apartment. She is trash? Good luck, you will find someone who values you and treats you with respect. I know? It's embarrassing looking back, haha. She also only ever paid back half. I'm with a great girl now, makes talking about the whole thing almost satisfying rather than painful now. Good for you. You deserve better. Every time I've ever read that someone needs time and space to think, there's always another person involved. My mom said exactly the same from the start. Moms know best. Only one woman told me that, and yes, another dude. Long story short, I went to their country, for the nature of my work I travel a lot, and her job the same thing, and found the surprise, I drank myself out of that place. That sucks dude. Hope you're all good now. Clearly she had a water bed. A girl told me she needed time to think about 40 years ago. I told her I didn't have to take time to think, I knew she must be stringing some other guy along, then started throwing all her stuff on the bed, then pulled the top sheet together in a big sack, tied a rope around it, then told her to leave, and never come back. She called a few times, and I hung up on her without saying a word. When you truly love someone, you know it, and don't need time to think. She owed me $1,200, but I just chalked it up to life tuition. My ex told me she needed time and space to think. We were together 10 years at the time, I helped raise my stepdaughter as my own kid, and we had 2 kids of our own. What's to think about? You know exactly what you have and what you're getting. She wanted me to be her plan B or safety net while she screwed around on me. Damn, I wish I had this kind of self-respect. All through my teen years, I never had any interest in being serious with a girl. I dated girls, but when they started getting serious, I told them I didn't want a serious relationship. I valued my freedom, and didn't want a girlfriend telling me I couldn't go hunting or fishing because she wanted me to take her shopping, or something like that. I didn't want a girlfriend telling me I couldn't hang out with my friends. When I first saw Diane, it was love at first sight. I'd never felt that way. We got along great, she really was perfect. Everything was great right up until she said she needed time to think. When I asked her if there was another guy, she hesitated. I knew the answer right away, and knew that she no longer loved me. I'm sure he had already introduced her to coke, and she enjoyed it. I was mad at her, mad at myself for falling in love with her. Yes, I was hurt too, but my anger took over. Maybe I could have convinced her, and saved her from the dismal future she experienced, but I was just too angry at that time. I didn't sleep or eat for the next 48 hours. It was hell. I finally slept, and when I woke up, I made a promise to myself that I wasn't going to take her back. I went to talk with my parents. They really like her, and told me it was my decision, if I wanted to try to save our relationship. When I left, my dad walked out with me. I told him that she was with a coke dealer. He told me to forget about her, she was damaged goods. She tried calling me several times, but as soon as I found out it was her, I hung up without saying anything more than hello. I now know that she realized she'd made a mistake, and wanted to try to rebuild our relationship. She died when she was 45. I received a letter from a lawyer, and there was a letter from her that she'd written years before. I didn't read it for several years. One day, I was cleaning my desk, and saw it. I threw it away, but a few hours later, got it out of the trash can, and read it. She begged me to forgive her, and apologized, telling me she knew she made a huge mistake. I cried. I'd never cried before when she first left. But her words were so sincere, it was just like how she was before our last day together. Later that day, I went to her grave, and talked to her. I cried more. But when I left her grave, I left my emotions for her there. I've enjoyed a wonderful marriage of many years with a wonderful woman. Our sex life isn't the greatest, but this woman loves me with all her heart. She's a really great life partner, and my heart is hers. We have a very special love. We raised 4 wonderful children who have never really caused us grief, and they've given us 11 amazing grandchildren. Had Dee not gotten involved with that scumbag, I would have never met M. Dee may have cheated after we got married. Yes, now I'm thankful she did what she did. I kinda had a similar experience where my wife was suffering from chronic pain situation where sex was almost non-existent for 8 years of our marriage, and then she cheats on me with a friend. Needless to say, I was broken. It's hard to put someone else's well-being above yours, then they betray you. The main thing that helps me is taking the time/emotional effort that you put towards them and apply it to bettering your life. You will now have an influx of cash and time, so use those to become the person you want to be and let everything else happen organically. I'm sorry you had to feel anything similar to the humiliation I felt, and you don't deserve it. Putting someone above yourself makes you a caring human being, and you should never be ashamed of that. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Have an awesome day or night, wherever you are.